Hi there, guys. It's time for another update on Innkeep, how things have been going. And I've got quite a bit to share with you, so I'm pretty excited. I'll try and keep it a bit shorter, though, and just get through things as quick as I can. Let's see now. So, 2 weeks ago, I showed you the background that we had. Now, the last 2 weeks, I've been working on kind of setting up the foundation for the game. I'm really interested in getting the core kind of playable experience set up as quickly as possible. And these last 2 weeks were really about the foundations from which I can then go on and build all the really cool stuff that I'd like to do later. Alright, so the first thing you'll see is that we have a menu here with some different options, some of them which don't do anything. You can't load. There are no options per se there, but it's a really neat little menu. Thanks to some people on YouTube, I think Sean's Building maybe, and there's some little art up the top here. Just keep in mind, of course, that all art is just stand-in art right now. Nothing that you see here is going to be in the actual final game, but it's kind of just placekeeper art. All right, and here we are, the common room, looking a little bit more full than before. First thing you might notice down here on the bottom right, there is a candle in the GUI. When I move, the candle also moves as well, and that is just keeping track of the day. So there's 10 hours in the day, and there's these little marks along the side, so you can kind of get an idea about how much time is left. The movement here has been smoothed up a bit. So previously it would just stop suddenly, and now I've got a little bit of friction happening, which is really cool. I've also added support for the up-down arrow keys instead of just the WASDs. And you might see here I'm kind of trying to move diagonally here, and I'm sliding along here and here as well. So instead of just stopping and being unable to move, you can slide against things, which makes it a bit smoother. Those kinds of movement adjustments have just been really nice. And let's see here, you'll notice we've got some tables. There's some stuff happening here with the bar. And you'll see that there's some wood here by the fire. So let's just have a look here at what's going on. Okay, so first thing, the bar. We've got some wooden steins down here on a shelf, and if we pick one up, there we go. I'm now holding it. Now, this is kind of, I guess, not that amazing if you haven't made games, but I can't put it back if I'm all the way over here. that's I'm really proud that that works. I also, if I go over here and try and pick it up, I can't pick it up. And again, it's like, yeah, so, well, in fact, nothing happens in programming unless you tell it not to happen. So initially you could be anywhere, like over here somewhere, and if you clicked on it, you'd pick it up. And I'm quite happy that no, you have to be standing by it to pick it up or put it down. And you'll see the little sprites disappearing and then adding to me. And over here, a barrel. If I mouse over, you can see here how much ale is left in this barrel here. And if I click on it, it's going down slowly, and it will run out. Eventually there'll be a trapdoor here, and you'll be able to select and swap out different types of ale and you know, wines and meads and all different kinds of drinks of various qualities, and you'll be able to water down some of your ale and so on, which will affect the quality. Anyway, so if I click this guy, now he has got an ale, and I just gained a couple of gold here too. Generic fantasy currency gold. Maybe I'll go for crowns, I don't know, coppers. I can pour the beer back into the barrel. Maybe not the most realistic choice, but I like being able to do it, so who cares? It's more about being practical than being about realistic in these kinds of things. You'll see that the candle's slowly kind of going down here, bit by bit, and it's actually beginning to get dark right now. Let's just do one other thing. Select this guy here, and I'm going to click on this table over here, and quite slowly off he goes. He's going to go and sit down. Now let's just turn this. Before I talk about that, let's just get some light going on here. Alright, my little merry fire. There we go, lighting up everything a bit. So we do have a shader system now, which is really neat, because previously I had a very simple shade system a month ago, which I put in pretty early, and unfortunately that meant that when it gets dark, the colors kind of disappear, they get squashed out. And now I've got a proper actual shading system that combines all the colors really nicely, so you'll get a better looking effect, which is great. Yeah, you go over there as well. Okay, so the deal with the table system is, this is a key kind of idea of the game, is that you will have to combine different people around your tables. So you have a maximum of 4 people per table, and people who like each other will get on along well, and people who dislike each other won't, and that'll affect how merry they are, and the merrier they are, the more they drink. The more they drink, the more profit you can make. That's kind of a key component about mixing and matching different types of guests. Of course, right now we still just have our peasant as before. They're coming in droves right now. But later on, you know, depending on the day, we're on day 1 right now, but depending on the day, you'll get slowly increasing range. So as the game guides you through the kind of inbuilt simple tutorial, you'll have, you know, your peasants, then you'll have peddlers, you'll have soldiers, maybe some traders, adventurers, and more types of people will be coming in, and each one will have their own specific kinds of bonuses and combos and things. So you're trying to build yourself some really merry tables by understanding how all these different types of people work with each other. It's pretty dark right now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of things like I was talking about before here with the code, so I have to be near things to do things and so on, which is not something that I can really talk about much without boring you, I guess, but it makes me happy. For example, I can select this guy here, but if I click here just where his legs are but are hidden by the table, I can't select him. Like, that kind of thing requires a lot of... I had to do a lot of study up here on masks. The other thing here, you notice, of course, that the table I can stand behind. And that means that the mask normally on an object is only what you can run into. So clicking here shouldn't even, in either case, and same with him, I can go behind him. So there's like a mask going on in 2 different ways and then negating each other, and all kinds of crazy code happening to simply not let me click that guy right there. And I had a little bit of champagne when I figured out that one, how to make it work. That was pretty cool. Hey, over here you go. So yeah, basically, oh yeah, over here the wood. If you click on the wood, look at the wood pile. I don't know, it's pretty dark right now, it might be a bit hard to see, but you'll see pieces actually disappear when you grab them. And you'll be able to run out of wood just like you can run out of ale, and you will have those costs of maintenance. And you know, it is at its core an economic game where you're trying to bring in enough cash to keep going from day to day, and your output in terms of wages for your, you know, your servant girl or kitchen boy, buying new ale, food, candle upkeep, bribes, I suppose, feeding yourself, you know, all of these things will cost money. And I think that's about it for now, really, if I'm just trying to keep this brief. I won't go on about future plans that much. I'll probably write something on my blog at some point. But yeah, that's it. So maybe in about 2 weeks, again, I'll just try and keep to this schedule of every 2 weeks releasing a video. And what I'll probably have to show you is the table system. So instead of right now just them going over there and sitting there and doing nothing, standing there, I'll have them actually sit down, and I'll add conversation. So basically that means that they'll start talking to each other, and that'll impact how much they consume, how long they stay, and I'll start tweaking things like day length and so on, so that right now we're about to run out of time for day 1, but this guy hasn't left yet, so we'll definitely want to fix things like that, start to get that all up and running, and then we'll be adding characters, different character types, and seeing how they interact. We'll be adding the basement down here, the cellar, that'll be put in, and then after that I suppose probably the kitchen. We'll add load and save and so on. So within about a month, all of those things I hope will be in, and about another month after that, so about 2 months from now, I'd like to start play testing. That's being optimistic maybe, but starting to kind of see what works, what doesn't. Oh, and it's day 2, and would have a message come up and a fade in and fade out and a proper transition and everything like that. But you know, you can see all the mugs have been left behind here, so you can grab them from the counter and put them back like that. That's pretty neat. I'm really having a lot of fun with this, so I hope you guys are interested in seeing how things go, and interested in testing it out for me or playing it even in the future, and I will do my best to make sure that won't be too far away. Okay,